Hello, everyone. Brad Logan alongside Mike Espy and Shay Hodge for this week's edition of the Mike and Shay Show. As we follow up the last regular season game, and Ole Miss kind of limps in there at the end, guys, falling to Mississippi State at home. Really not playing well. Credit Mississippi State, but the Rebels do fall at home. Today's show, of course, brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online, where the game starts from any type of college sport to the NFL to the PGA to esports. Bet Online, your place to go. Just use that promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, and go to betonline.ag. Bet Online, where the game starts. Mike, we'll start with you. Rebels fall at home. Their last regular season game as we record. This is previous to the SEC championship game. Not sure where all the bowls will shake out, but the Rebels fall 8-4. Fall to Mississippi State 8-4 to finish the year.
Yeah, man. Look, that game was disappointing, as we all know. We didn't finish the season the way we wanted to. Credit to Mississippi State and a lot of the things they did to disrupt us, disrupt our offense, and obviously they put up points in critical moments. I think Will Rogers, he did what he needed to do when he had to do it. And as far as us and our offense, man, we didn't capitalize on a lot of opportunities. You know, our defense played well at times and created turnovers. And for the most part, we didn't answer the call and put up the points that would have won the game. So season didn't end the way we wanted to, but I think there are a lot of good things to look forward to in this offseason.
And Shay, at one point during the game, Ole Miss was 3 for 4 in the red zone. Unfortunately, those were 3 Jonathan Cruz field goals. And the one red zone stop was Ole Miss going for it on 4th down and not getting it. That proved to be very pivotal in the loss to Mississippi State.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Along with other things that went on, I would like to go in a different direction with what I think happened. I think we talked about distraction the whole time. You know, all last week and the week before about the pro mindset. And I think it didn't happen. I think all the distractions is what ultimately led to the downfall of the season. You know, with thinking your coach going to leave, and I think Kiffin really didn't know if he wanted to leave or not. I think it bothered him a little bit too of like what to do. And I think it ultimately showed, you know, in the way they played and what ultimately the way they ended the season. You know, it's frustrating, but I mean it happens, and now we got our guy locked in. So looking forward to next year. I mean, it's big. You know, we got a lot, like you said, a lot of people coming back. It's not like it's a bunch of seniors that we got. So I just chalked this season up, the end of the season, up to distractions and just like the unknown just got to us. And again, looking forward to the future.
And, you know, Mike, kind of piggybacking on what Shay just said, let's go to that real quickly. Obviously, we know as we record that Lane Kiffin has extended his contract. He'll be the head coach at Ole Miss next year. Obviously, going into the Arkansas game, there's a lot of unknowns, and we could, you know, talk left and right about what was and wasn't said. All we heard from Lane Kiffin was that he was happy and that he was going to be the head coach at Ole Miss. As we stand here today, that's exactly what the situation is. I think I saw a stat that said both Liberty and Ole Miss are 0-6 when each of their coaches being named in a conversation. In this particular case, the coach was, of course, Hugh Freeze, who eventually would become the coach at Auburn, and then Ole Miss's coach Lane Kiffin. Off the field distractions, that big a deal, do you think?
Without a doubt. You know, one thing that you want to be able to say, hey, like Shay said, pro mindset, and be able to go and handle your business. But at the end of the day, you know, there were a lot of things looming in the air, and it was the main topic of conversation. I would imagine that the more as a coach that you have to tell your players, hey, let's have a pro mindset, let's not worry about these distractions, the more it actually does become a distraction. So I agree with Shay. But, you know, I'm a moving. I know we got to talk about it, but I'm a moving forward kind of person, and we got a lot of pieces coming back, and we got the coach coming back, and there's full confidence that he's signed the contract. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be our guy. So man, this team's gonna get better. This team's gonna get a lot better.
Yeah, as we record on Thursday, moving forward, turning the page, you look at this Ole Miss team, and it comes out today that the Grove Collective announces that they've signed an extension with running back Quinshon Judkins. I think that was honestly, I think Ole Miss fans were more nervous about Quinshon Judkins entering the transfer portal than they were actually losing Lane Kiffin. So Ole Miss gets their coach and gets their running back, appears to not be going anywhere. So good news, Shay. You get the main cog coming back on offense along with quarterback Jackson Dart. All of a sudden, you're kind of looking at the bowl game and looking forward to next season.
Right, right. That's huge. The times that we're in now, you're right. Like the running back is like the coach now. Like once one of them becomes bigger, like the type of season that he had, he's a hot commodity. Now everybody want him. Just like a hot coach, when he does well, everybody want him. So yeah, us sign him, the Grove Collective signed him, was huge. I'll actually go back. I want to mention something too. I think there was a lot of like internal turmoil going on with the team. I hear murmurs. I don't know this to be factual, but like Matt Trigg, I think, was in trouble and didn't get to play. I think something was going on with Evans too, of more than what we thought about injuries. I think it was some more things internally going on in the program that wasn't like put out to the public, but like was getting punished inside the program that we wasn't paying attention to or didn't know, to the public. So I think that played a part in it too, of how everything played out. And I just wanted to make sure I hit on that before we had moved forward. But yes, man, getting everything in order as it should be. Like the coach, now your coach gonna be there. Now your quarterback gonna be there. Now your running back gonna be there. You still got a few receivers left other than our seniors. Our two seniors got 800 yards apiece, but you also got Flash. I think Flash got a couple, like another year or so. You got some transfers gonna come in. You got Watkins still there. You got some other players that even play that could possibly be a guy. So now everything is starting to fall in line. And just like I seen Coach Kiffin put on Twitter, now that he's signed, like, yeah, it's official. Come to the SIP. So now he's telling everybody else, hey, you come here and you do well, you'll get the same type of deal. And I think that's enticing to players that want to come there.
Yeah, we heard from Lane. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say, and just to jump on that, look, if you are another school recruiting, you had a lot of ammunition as to why you should not go to Ole Miss, right? Who knows if Lane Kiffin's gonna be there, all of that kind of stuff. But now, as soon as he made that announcement, I feel like recruits that were coming or people who were recruiting, now they can be more confident in that decision to come to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and it helps also to piggyback off what both of you said that Judkins has signed his deal with the NIL Grove Collective, so he will be a member of this team going forward. And to kind of talk about what Shay said, we learned during the press conference post game of the Egg Bowl is that Michael Trigg has been suspended, and that's why we had not seen him following the injury to his collarbone. So disappointing season, I think it's to say, for Michael Trigg. He had a couple of flashes early, and unfortunately, with the injury to Casey Kelly, Ole Miss had no threat at tight end because it had to use, for the most part, Jonathan Mingo as a makeshift tight end because they had no tight ends that he could trust. You would think that would be a position of need going into the portal and also the high school ranks. And while we're on recruiting and while we're on portal, December the 5th is going to be the day of, I guess we could all circle because, gentlemen, that's kind of the new day when people can officially enter the portal and can officially start jumping on with programs. I know, Mike, Ole Miss has probably got that day circled because there are a number of areas of need. You talked about a couple just a moment ago.
Yeah, like you said, man, tight end. We need a tight end bad. Mingo, for the most part, for the past 3 or 4 games, has been playing in that position with the absence of Trigg and, Casey Kelly's up and down. So there are other positions. This running back, right? Because Quinshawn Judkins and Zach Evans are coming back, right?
Zach may go to the NFL.
What's that?
Zach may go to the NFL. Win shot.
I think Zach should come back for 1 more year. That's just my personal opinion.
I do too.
But yeah, so we got a lot to hit in the transfer portal and obviously in recruiting. We got some big time guys committed to us already. So we're just interested to see who we're gonna pick up.
Yeah, Shay, coming to you, what are some areas that you're looking for that Ole Miss needs to really shore up on this team heading into to next season?
I'm gonna go opposite of Mike. I think we got the tight end. We gotta make sure he stay. I think Michael Trigg is it. Like, he's a dude. Whatever he has going on, I hope he mature from it and ultimately get better and contribute. Because that's I've been a quarterback before. When you got somebody in the middle of the field that's big and can get open, man, that is huge for an offense. Like Evan Ingram was, and other tight ends. I'm going blank on it. But needs of the team, I would say, if Evans does leave, we got to get another running back to complement Judkins. But I mean, we may have him on the roster already. I haven't completely checked the roster in a minute, but I know we're gonna have to replace the receivers. Gonna lose 2 big time receivers. But ultimately the biggest thing is like probably like our safeties and linebackers, like getting more depth, and probably across the D line. I have actually would say I have to do my homework to figure out like where are the holes. But I mean, outside looking in, just from watching the games, definitely got if Trigg is not going to come back or whatever may happen with him, then yes, we will need a tight end. We'll need receivers, like two receivers, and probably some D linemen and man, honestly, everything. If you really break down everything, because that's what Kiffin gonna do. He's gonna get in that portal. He's gonna find out who's leaving, who's going where. He's gonna do his homework, and he's gonna find the guys that we need. Actually, I lied. We do have Ulysses Bentley, who could be the second back if Evans leaves. If he can play from what I seen him do on his highlights, man, like the dude is special.
I heard Bentley's leaving.
It wouldn't shock me if he is too.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It wouldn't shock me.
It's just kind of the new day that we're in, whether it be leaving to enter the portal or leaving for the NFL. Ole Miss is going to have a program that has people coming in, people going out. But, gentlemen, I like Mike's philosophy is don't dwell on the past. You got to move forward. There's nothing you can do to change the past. Ole Miss obviously kind of limps to the finish line. The good news is they did win 8 games, and there's a bowl game on the horizon. I know you've seen kind of the bowl opportunities between Las Vegas, Tampa, Jacksonville, Memphis, Nashville. Mike, what are you thinking in regards to a bowl trip? Kind of what were your thoughts going into when you played about bowl trips, and kind of what are some memories you've got from bowl games back when you played at Ole Miss?
As far as bowls, man, with all the bowls going on now, it's since when I played, man, it's probably 30% more bowls now than when I was playing, right? So I don't want to make a prediction on what bowl specifically, but as far as when I was coming up, it's another opportunity, man, to get on that field. Obviously, when we went to the Independence Bowl, we weren't playing for any type of championship besides the Independence Bowl. We went to the Cotton Bowl. Obviously, we were playing for the 10-win season. But you get another opportunity out there in the season with your brothers to go out there and do your thing, and have fun and build for the next season. You're going to have some guys that are going to opt out of the bowl game, right? So it might be an opportunity for a young guy leading into the next year to step up and play his game to help solidify himself before a new crop of players come in the next year. And I'm going to be honest too, man, besides the football and stuff, the gifts, right? It gets around Christmas time, and we got a lot of gifts from whatever those bowls were. And as a young kid, that was real memorable. And I enjoyed that as well, man.
Shay, same thing to you. What are your thoughts on Ole Miss going bowling this year? What are some destinations you think the Ole Miss fans would enjoy? And, of course, you were also part of that Cotton Bowl team back in 2008.
Right. Like Mike said about so many bowls now, I don't know like the order of importance of the bowls. Like when I played, but I always use the Coach Nutt approach. He said the more you win, the hotter it is where you're gonna go for your bowl. So I'm hoping it's like a Tampa or something, because of what the time of the year is going to be. It's going to be cold mostly everywhere, or playing in the dome. So I don't know exactly what is where anymore. But that philosophy right there is where I go by. What we deserve, I don't know if we deserve it to be where it's hot because we limped to the finish line instead of finish on a strong note. But ultimately, I just hope we go somewhere hot, and most likely I'll be there. But personally, our bowl game, I got to go my junior and senior year to the same bowl, the Cotton Bowl. It was great. All the gifts, all the practice time, like a month to prepare for. You get a lot of gifts, and you get to be in this hotel. They got a whole bunch of games and stuff. So it's gonna be fun for someone that's never been. You get money, you get a whole bunch of stuff. So I just remember that, and we played and actually we had a unique situation. We played in the last game in the Cotton Bowl Stadium, and then we played the first game in the Cowboy Stadium. So it was very fun for me, and that was my first time getting to go to a bowl my junior year, and then getting to go again and win 9 games again. It was special, and I hope those kids get to enjoy it and get, like Mike said, go out there and play with their brothers again. And even though we're not playing for something significant like like a Sugar Bowl or something to get us or the playoffs, the 14 playoff or anything, but ultimately, man, you get another chance to write your resume. You get another chance to put some on film. You get another chance to get ahead of everybody, like Mike said, who might be coming in. Now you can put a good taste in your coach's mouth of like, hey, that's a guy I can depend on going into next season. But ultimately, man, you built that bond with your brothers in the summer and throughout the season, and then you want to do it one more time because you're gonna miss playing no matter how long and how maybe nicked up or anything. But at the end of the day, once you take a month off, or possibly a month off, and then go to your bowl, like that builds the fire up and make you want to play.
And before we get you guys out of here today, Mike and Shay, it's the state championship weekend down in Hattiesburg. I know both you guys have a lot to do with our high school athletes in the state of Mississippi. A very important time for our high school athletes. I know you guys tutor a number of those players. How important is this weekend from a recruiting standpoint from all across the state of Mississippi and all across the South? And how important is it for our athletes that are playing in state championships? Mike, I know it's a special time for players having an opportunity to win that golden ball.
Oh yeah, look, man, it's a great time, great opportunity. When I was in high school, obviously we went 15-0, won the state championship. But I'm looking for, if in the 6A, I'm looking for the Brandon Bulldogs. Yeah, Starkville's a good team, but I'm looking for the Brandon Bulldogs to go and repeat, man. This is back-to-back. They're in the state championship. They're a solid team. That coaches come in. They've done a great job. But, as far as, you on Instagram and Twitter, you're seeing college coaches giving shots out to a lot of the high school players because, heck, some of them probably be at the game even watching, So it's a great time of the year, man. I look forward to this weekend, man.
Shay, same to you. You're growing up down in South Mississippi. This was a big weekend for you guys, I know.
Oh yeah. I didn't get to enjoy winning one or actually making to one, but had a nice little run my senior year, making it to the South State game. So that was huge, and knowing how it is playing in the playoffs, win or go home. It's exciting, man. You want to like the same thing with the bowl game, but except it's something to actually really play for. It's something that's gonna you remember for the rest of your life. Mike has I don't Mike has a few kids like Lester Miller that's playing for Brandon in the state championship. Quincy Phillips, like I got Centurion Perkins and a few other kids that's playing. I'm going blank, but seeing them prosper and have fun and getting a chance to put a ring on your finger. I've never done it. I want to make sure I do it as a coach. So doing it as a player is like it's just very special. For those guys that may get recruited from the game, it does happen at times. For the most part, coaches know who they want and who they recruiting. But then they go to the game just to see who gonna flash. I've seen a kid like I think Tyler Knight. I think that's how he got his Ole Miss offer, if I remember right, or it was after that in the Mississippi Alabama game. So the more you play, the more you put on film, and the better the competition. Sometimes it works out in your favor where you flash in front of somebody that's already known and already good, and you dominate them or make some splash plays against them. It can catapult your recruiting. Being in this recruiting game for about 9 years now, something like that. Helping kids and training. You figure that out. Like, man, it ain't always like, hey, you get in the beginning and you good. Sometimes it comes late to some people. I'll give you another one, Tavez Calhoun. That went to Mississippi State. He's from Morton, where I'm from, and he got his scholarship, man, like the day before signing day or 2 days before signing day. So you just never know, man, what you do. You always got to know that anytime you got a chance to play, man, it's time to put something on film to show everybody how good you are.
There'll be plenty to talk about next week. It broke last night that the NCAA College Football Committee College Football Playoff Committee voted to go to 12 teams. So we'll talk about that next week. Also, we'll have the SEC Championship game with LSU and Georgia to talk about. We'll also know the bowl destination that Ole Miss will be able to have, and we'll also discuss some of those athletes that might have that opportunity to win that state championship upcoming down in Hattiesburg on Friday and Saturday of this week. Brad Logan today, speaking, of course, for Shay Hodge and Mike Espy. We appreciate you being part of the Mike and Shay Show right here on the Believe in Ole Miss podcast, a part of the Believe Network. We're grateful for our sponsor today, BetOnline. BetOnline, where the game starts. Use that promo code BLEAV, B-L-E-A-V, and save 50% of your welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next week right here on the Believe in Ole Miss Network.